The best antidepressant is staying grounded. So hey guys, today I'm out here to it's my dog. Today I'm out here to film this video for you that is very important. I decided to film this in the balcony because I really liked how it went when I filmed in nature yesterday. So I thought I would just get out of my room and do something different. So what exactly is staying grounded? Staying grounded is kind of just being yourself, being in your energy, protecting your energy, protecting it from outside sources, and also protecting it from your ego. Just retaining that energy, that good flowing of energy, of love, of what you're built of unconditional love and light, and just retaining that energy within yourself. How do you stay grounded? How can you do that? It sounds easy, but really it's a very important lesson to go through during your spiritual awakening. I have gone through it, and it was quite hard for me because as a person, I don't want to give myself like an exact label. I don't know if you guys have heard of empaths, but I really do think that I am quite an empathetic person. I've always been absorbent of other people's energy, but especially during my awakening, during the peak of my healing journey, I was especially aware of that. I'm not sure why, but I was just especially aware of the fact that I was very easily influenced by other people's energies. If I were around someone quite like depressed, I will feel very depressed. I could feel it like burdening me, and it was very hard to overcome because I am not a person to hurt someone. I'm not a person to push away people. I usually just don't say anything, and then I'll really let their energy affect me. And it is not a good way to deal with all of this, because we should always prioritize ourselves, even though sometimes it's kind of selfish, but really we should always prioritize ourselves and love ourselves the most. So always protect your energy. Now let me get into how exactly I stay grounded and how you could do to use this. I'm not saying that don't take like antidepressants or don't just back away from all like the medical stuff, but really once you start implementing this in your life, you will see like your therapist saying that you're better, your parents saying that you're better, friends saying they're better, or even yourself. You can notice the things starting to change in your life, and the things in your life the universe gives you that start to align with your new self, with the happier you, with the true you. How do we stay grounded from within? Okay, so first I would like to share with you the story of mine. It's a very personal story. I don't think really many of the people know about this because I haven't told anyone yet. So basically, I have been taking antidepressants since I think it was last year June. Back then, I was probably taking like 3 pills. I'm not sure. One of them is melatonin. I don't know the names of the other pills, but they're just like, they kind of really dull me and make me very tired. The melatonin helped me sleep at night because I used to have a lot of nightmares, and the melatonin helped me sleep at night. But the other antidepressants helped me to just kind of dull my emotions and stop like my hormones from affecting me so much. If you take antidepressants, you know how it feels. It doesn't feel nice. You don't necessarily feel sad, but then you don't necessarily feel happy either. I remember the first time I took it, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, man, I don't feel anything. It's like, if you guys have ever read poems, you know Sylvia Plath. There was one poem, I think it's Poppy in July, and it says colorless, colorless. That is exactly how I felt. I just felt colorless, very dull, very emotionless. I couldn't feel anything. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't be happy, nor could I be sad. And what's the point of life in that? There's no meaning. After like months of taking the same pills, I just really wanted to get out of it because it wasn't helping me. I was still able, sometimes I would still let my ego, let the sad part of me, like the very depressed part of me get the best of me and still cry over things. But I was just never happy because I never had like the hormones to make me happy. I never had like that hype. I have Over the last few months, I have started, my therapist, my psychiatrist have started to recommend to me to decrease my dosage. I have tried that probably 3 times. The last time was before I went to Sydney, but the first 2 times it didn't work. I decreased it for 1 day and I started taking the same dosage again. So why did that happen? I started having nightmares right after I decreased the dosage, right after I stopped taking that 1 melatonin pill, and I don't know, I just started having nightmares and I was really scared. I was just not safe. I didn't feel at home. I didn't feel safe. So I had to take it back. But then something changed in Sydney. She decreased my dosage and I went to Sydney with only 2 pills. I did not give myself a backup plan. I just went there with 2 pills and I did not look back. I never looked back, and that pill is bye-bye now. So how did that happen? You see, I'll tell you something. When I went to Sydney, I had a lot of nightmares. I remember having a dream the first night just of my best friend, Charlotte, one of my best friends, killing herself. I don't know why, I just had this dream of her just hanging herself, and I could see her body dangling off the roof. So many mosquitoes. I could see her body dangling off the roof, and I was screaming my lungs out in the dream, but I couldn't scream because something was pressing my heart. I always had these dreams of being trapped somewhere, or something just not being able to let me speak out. I was so scared. When I woke up, I was paranoid, what the fuck, is Charlotte okay? But none of that is real, okay? And then also the second night, I also had this dream of I remember getting in a fight with my father, and it was just really, really scary because I really cherish my family and I don't like to get in fights with them. I get really troubled. I feel really troubled when I do. What did I do to overcome this? But when you start your healing journey, you might see that many of your past fears and past resentment or stuff like that just start to show up. It's because it's kind of in a way testing you to see if you can really let go of it. Once you're past that phase, everything just turns to bliss and peace. When you start healing, it doesn't mean that whatever you went through during your past, whatever you were facing in the darkest time of your days, it doesn't mean that they're gone. It just means that they are still there, but you no longer react to it. Every single day, we are reacting to everything around our environment, okay? We see the protests on TV, and we feel all this, anger, stress, and then we see people arguing. We're oh my god, we feel worried for them. We feel stressed because of the noise. And then with some friend bail on us on the plans, and we feel anger. Every single day we're reacting to every single bit of our life. And when you actually step back and actually look at the whole thing, observe it, and instead of reacting to it, just let it be there and let it go, it will slowly decrease, and its value will slowly decrease, the importance will slowly decrease, and finally you will be able to live life like it's not even there anymore. Those dreams followed me for 1 whole week in Sydney. Every single day I was having weird dreams of probably people killing me or stuff, people dying or apocalypse, just really outrageous dreams. But I never gave them a single bit of attention. You see, I can be able to tell you that because it really happened, because I know it's there, but I don't react to it. I didn't react to it. Every single morning, I wake up and I thank the universe for such a beautiful day. I thank the universe for such a refreshing start. I take a cold shower, I wake myself up, and then I go out and I take the bus to the town center and I have my day. I go on with my day like it never happened. Really learn to observe and let go. That is very, very powerful. I know I've talked about this a couple of times again, but really it's the most amazing thing to do. Focus on what makes you feel good. Okay, so again, it's the ego and the mind. Always remember, our ego is there to survive, to adapt. It's kind of like when I stopped taking that pill, it was in survival mode, right? It's always in survival mode. And my ego was kind of just like telling me that, oh my god, like without this pill, you're gonna get so depressed, like all these nightmares will start affecting you and you're gonna start like stressing out and shit. But what our mind wants is always unconditional love, always happiness. This is what our mind truly desires. And during that time, my mind was awakened. I knew what I was here for. I knew that I'm not here to feel all this nonsense, to be trapped in all this nonsense and just to be trapped in all this nonsense and get depressed over it. So that I was not here to do that. I'm here on earth to live an amazing and happy life full of beauty. And I'm here on earth to do this. And I'm not here on earth to be depressed. Okay? I don't want to be that. Alright? So my mind knew that, and so it decided to let go. And by letting go, I transformed something in me. Once I let go of all that, like after a week, the last few days when I was in Sydney, everything was just so peaceful, so blissful, and everything was beautiful. So one thing is to don't try to like control it. Because by controlling it or fighting those thoughts, you're kind of just like creating more resistance. You're creating more resistance. You're making yourself want to think more. The really key is to observe it. Know that it's there, but don't react to it. Just let go. Do something that makes you happy. Do something that makes you feel loved. Do something that makes you feel the love in this world. Watch something, go into nature. That's what I do. Go into nature. Write something in your gratitude journal. Craft. Do some DIYs. Draw. Read. Listen to happy, uplifting music. Anything that you like to do. As long as it makes you happy and feel loved. And feel the beauty of this world and see the beauty within yourself. So now, I'm going to talk about how to deal with outside influences. One thing I would really say that has been of great significance to me is to be mindful of what you consume. I mean the info that you consume. We all know that the media nowadays are in ways trying to trigger us to make us react to their information so that they would get more likes, more hits, more views, more comments, more subscribes. Because of that, we need to be aware of what we're consuming, what we're watching, what we're reading. I'm not telling you to like completely be a hermit and like not pay attention to what's going on around you. But maybe you should like kind of just stop watching so much of that. Stop, like maybe you could like read a news post of what's going on, be aware of it, but then don't like don't indulge yourself in the emotion of the reporter, because very usually they are trying to exaggerate everything. They're trying to make you react to it so that they will get the attention that they want. That's their ultimate goal. But our ultimate goal is to protect our energy, and so because of that, we should not be so indulged in their emotions, which are usually very provoking of these negative emotions. I personally don't really watch too much of the news. I sometimes turn it on to kind of just like know about what's going on generally, or I just like read a few posts online, but I don't really like to consume anything that has like a political, like a kind of like stands to it. I just like to like read and watch more general things. And also, this key thing is that don't be annoyed when negative things happen around you. Sometimes people are very angry, especially nowadays. People are very depressed. People are very angry around you. It's like you're sitting in this restaurant and that lady next to you is scolding her son on the phone, something like that. But when you get very annoyed when these things happen, it only makes it worse. It's like you're kind of just like, when you get annoyed, you're kind of just like building up to the negative emotions. You're kind of just like making the atmosphere worse. When these things happen, what I like to do is really just take some deep breaths and focus on my own energy instead of theirs, because where energy goes, energy flows. So when you just focus on your own energy, you're not only protecting your energy, you're kind of just building it up too. By knowing how to stay grounded and protect your own energy, you're building up a lot, you're growing a lot, you're healing a lot. Okay? So whenever something bad that you don't want to see or want to witness happens, just kind of just like let it be there. It's kind of just like your ego. It's like, see them as your ego. Just let it be there, okay? Let it be there. Don't react to it, because the more you react to it, the worse it's gonna get. So I would like to share something with you that happened today. Today I passed by Causeway Bay, which is the main protesting ground, I'd say. And as I said, I'm very intuitive. I've been very intuitive lately because I've been going through a lot of spiritual awakening, healing stuff, and my intuition is greatly heightened, and I can feel a lot of people's energies and just different things in different places, and I'm very sensitive. And today, as I was passing by like the main ground for protesting, I could just feel the surge of like very heavy emotion. I don't want to really give it like a positive or negative connotation, but I just feel this very heavy emotion. It's just very stressed out, very depressed, very angry. Everyone's fighting for what they believe in, and yet they're not getting it, and they're very angry, very stressed out. People who can't go to work, people who have trouble going to work, getting home, are very stressed out. And I can feel it like just kind of just like emerging from the ground, as if I've never felt such a powerful energy before. I've never felt it before. But I was just talking to my mom. I was just walking out of this mall, and I just felt it just like kind of emerging from the ground and getting into me, just trying to fight their way into me. And as I was talking to my mom, you know how moms sometimes get really irritating. They ask the same questions over and over again. And I was just like, man, I don't know what to do about this. For 1 second, I really wanted to just give up everything and just yell and cry like I always did months ago. I really wanted to just do that. I just had this undying urge to kind of just like throw a tantrum and just cry my lungs out because of how heavy the energy felt. But I went on with the conversation and I just talked to my mom smoothly. I didn't do anything to it. I just let it be there, and then I kind of just I just let it be there. And oh my god, I can feel the energy now. I'm sorry. But I can feel it now. I just let it be there, and I continue to think about the things that I want, and I told myself that I am so much better than my ego. Okay, this is something, a little esoteric thing that I'd like to share with you. I like to quote Doughty. He said something like, "We are infinite spiritual beings living a temporary human experience. This lifetime is not the only life that we're gonna live." And we are here on earth because we're here to awaken. We're here to go through the spiritual journey, and we are here to experience bliss, love, and happiness. We're so much more than what came with this human body. We're so much more than this 3D human body. And when we give in, you see, the ego is there for a reason, because it helps us to survive, helps us to adapt, and helps us to be human. But when we give into the darker side of our ego, we're forgetting what we're built up on, which is unconditional love and bliss. And we shouldn't do that, okay? Really, we should not do that. So always remember, we're always better than our ego. We're always better than what other people tells us that we are. We shouldn't blame them because we're at a different consciousness from them, but we are better. So don't let it fight you, okay? Sorry. Don't let it do anything to you. Don't, just observe it, let it go, and it will slowly transform. Trust me, okay? I'm still taking antidepressants, but I'm pretty sure that I will be decreasing my dosage largely by the end of this month. But yeah, I hope you guys liked it, and happy healing.